morning, good morning, good morning. Let's go ahead and get started here. Got a lot of ground to cover. All right, so we got pre-market action. Got a few things going on. First check to see if we hit any take profits. I don't see any. I am the Pip Messiah, your host for the Quiet Storm live trading session for July the 24th, 2025. We're going to go over basically what we do, and then we're going to start evaluating trade opportunities to enter a market on a buy or sell basis on a 15-minute pacing. So at 15 minutes, Trading View is going to go through all the assets that we do trade and spit out trade opportunities for us if there is one to be had, or are any to be had, so to speak. Okay, so this is the chart for the Australian dollar versus the US dollar on the 4-hour. The colored lines that you see on the chart are exponential moving averages. An exponential moving average is a graphical representation of the average of the last number of few candles. So in this case, you have the yellow line, which is the 5 exponential moving average, the red line, which is the 13 exponential moving average. When you're looking at any chart on any asset on any time frame, if the yellow line is over the red line, the buyers are in control of the market on that asset on that time frame. Conversely, if the red line is over the yellow line, the sellers are in control of the market on that asset on that time frame. You also have 3 other lines: the aqua line, which is the 50 exponential moving average, the gray line, which is the 200 exponential moving average, and the blue line, which is the 800 exponential moving average. If these 3 lines appear in this order, aqua on the top, gray in the middle, and blue on the bottom, you're in an uptrend on that asset on that time frame. Conversely, if these 3 lines appear in this order, blue on the top, gray in the middle, aqua on the bottom, you're in a downtrend on that particular time frame. So just a quick analysis with Australian dollar versus US dollar on the 4-hour. We have buyers that control the market. 5 is over the 13. And you're in an uptrend. You have the 50 over the 200 over the 800. And what's happening? Price is increasing over time. So that's quickly how we're going to look at everything as we're going through. With that, let's dive into our trades. We have MET1, which is a future, and this was called originally as a buy, and it hit stop loss. So this trade is now invalidated. We have DIA versus Tether. This was called as a buy at 4:15 in the morning on Wednesday, and it hit stop loss. This trade is now invalidated. We have the euro versus the Australian dollar. The issue here is that even though it was called as a buy, at the time of the buy, it was gray, blue, aqua. That's consolidation. And it's about to hit stop loss. So the trade, 1, wouldn't be something to be entered. And 2, you made the mistake of entering. It was a bad trade. Have the euro to the Swiss to the Czech dollar, which we got into at 7 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. That hit take profit for us. Congratulations for those that took that particular trade. We have the euro versus the Hungarian forint. It's also hit take profit. The trade was called at 7:30 in the morning, which is the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange on Tuesday, and hit take profit on Wednesday at 11:30 in the morning. So about a day. We have XAI versus Tether. This is not a trade that we ended up taking, and it ended up hitting stop loss. We have token versus Tether. This trade hit take profit. And as you can tell at the time the trade was called, red was over yellow, which means the seller had control of the market. And you have blue, gray, aqua, which is a downtrend. And look what happened. A very fast and rapid move to take profit. And lastly, we have the euro versus the South African rand. And this trade hit take profit and is now invalidated. So even with all that pre-market action, we don't have any valid trades entering tonight. 2:15 is the next time it'll spit out trade opportunities. That is a little over 6 minutes from now at 2:15. While we're waiting for this to happen, let's take a look at news for today. We're going to start with Forex Factory. And today is quite a busy day of news. Matter of fact, at 2:15, we have a double drop of news on the euro. And all morning and afternoon, there's news left and right on Forex pairs. So it's going to be a busy day. And I have lots of boost in liquidity as these news items start to hit the wire. Let's take a look at futures. We have negative in futures on the US 30. We can expect an opportunity probably to enter the market on a buy basis on US 30 because of this. And break even on S&P 500, slightly positive on NASDAQ 100, negative on gold. And we'll break even on the France 40, slightly positive on the German 30, which we hit take profit on earlier today for a little over 45,000 pips. We've been in that trade a couple of days. And very positive on the Japanese Nikkei 225. It looks like all the cryptocurrencies, at least the major players, are being smashed in terms of negative futures. Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, Solana, and Binance Coin. In terms of what we do call, we use a color-coded system. Green trades are major and minor Forex currency pairs. Yellow trades are exotic Forex currency pairs. Blue trades are spot cryptocurrency pairs. These are cryptocurrencies versus the US dollar. Red trades are indices like the US 30, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, the UK 100, and the Japanese Nikkei 225. We trade precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. We trade US oil and UK oil and natural gas. Purple trades are perpetual cryptocurrency pairs. These are cryptocurrencies versus Tether, USDT, and stocks. And we also trade futures. If you're looking to follow along with the trades, if you click on the description to this video, you'll see the two brokers that we primarily use. The first of which is Liquid Brokers, for which you will primarily see trades for perpetual cryptocurrencies, even though they have all the others. And also LHFX, which is my secondary broker. It has superior leverage on everything else on this list, but does not have cryptocurrency perpetual trades. Futures calls, if they're called tonight, are going to be coming from Top Step X. As of right now, we're up to 653 wins for the year. That's since May the 2nd. Those of you who've been following me for a while know that I was sick for most of the year, so I was not trading until the last few months or so. And that's versus 567 losses for a win percentage of 53.49%. And total pips won, 1,956,596, which gives us a very slight outside chance of still clearing 2 million pips by the end of July. We may or may not make it, but we'll still see. And with that, we've got another minute or so until 2:15. Go ahead and grab something to drink, stretch your legs, come on back, and we'll get started for the evening. All right, so we are starting the evening with a buy opportunity on Palladium versus US dollar. Let's check it out. This is a precious metal. We have aqua gray blue, so it's an uptrend. We're going to be entering this trade on a buy to 1379.195. This is going to be a long position from current price. 79.195. Going to lengthen the stop a little bit. We'll take that trade. Let's go ahead and drop in these parameters. All right, so Palladium is a precious metal. So this is going to be a red trade. You'll be able to find this particular pair on Liquid Brokers and on LHFX. XPD, USD. This is a market execution buy on a 15-minute confirmation with a risk to reward ratio of 3.59. Take profit is 1379.195. It's going to be for a whopping 44,168 pips. Stop loss is going to be 1322.739. That's going to be for 12,288 pips. I will warn you, if you are taking this trade on Palladium, use a very low leverage. I would recommend 0.01 unless your account is quite large. Precious metals are more heavily weighted than regular Forex pairs, and Palladium moves very quickly. The entry price is 1335.027. And here's going to be your first trade of the night. Palladium versus the United States dollar. 15-minute confirmation market execution buy. Entry price is 1335.027. Stop loss is 1322.739 for 12,288 pips. Take profit is 1379.195 for 44,168 pips and a risk to reward ratio of 3.59. So it's now 2:19. It doesn't look like we're going to get any other trades for the 2:15 time frame. With that, our next time to enter the market will be at 2:30 in the morning. It's about 10 minutes from now. If you do have any questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. I can address those a live time. But at the moment, just got some waiting to do. So basically, what I'm doing now is I'm taking a look at Bitcoin versus Tether. I do believe we're probably going to get some action on cryptocurrency during tonight's session. And right now, it appears that Bitcoin is trapped between two very tight levels. Of fair value gap. It's going to have to break through one of these. So it's not really showing which direction it's going to move just yet. Something to keep a lookout for. And the weird thing is that even though we're on a solid downtrend on the 1 minute and 5 minute, the buyers seem to be in control of the market on Bitcoin. And that's a little strange. Seeing that same phenomenon. This line at 107,904, we actually drew that way back on Monday during Monday's live session to kind of track where price could go. Okay, so price is baking up into this fair value gap. It's going to dip again. Same thing. It broke through this. We're going to get a pretty sharp decline on Bitcoin. It's just a matter of time when it's going to happen. So the next test for us, once it falls, it's going to be around 115,300. So this fair value gap is different. It's now 113,239.93, which is the top of this zone. The 800 must be quite down from here, and it is. So the likely scenario I think we're going to have is another break of 117,900. It's almost there anyway. We'll probably end up breaking this fair value gap and busting down to about 113,239. That's about the lowest I think it'll go today if it does retreat. But if we do have enough catalyst today, because there's a lot of major news for Bitcoin to get hit, we could drop below 113,000 today. But I think the more likely scenario is a drop to about 115,200 as the low for today. So it's definitely something we're going to keep watching. All right, so we got about 3 minutes and 44 seconds left until 2:30 in the morning. We'll see whether or not we get any other opportunities to possibly enter the market on a buy or sell basis. Do more timing. Closing on 2 minutes left to go to 2:30 in the morning. All right, it's now 2:30 in the morning. I don't see any trades just yet. Gonna give it about 1 more minute. Well, 2 minutes in is when we know whether or not we get any trade opportunities. And of course, the futures trades are on a 10-minute kind of delay from regular pairs. So we'll get another slate of opportunities at about 2:40 in the morning. All right, we've got nothing for the 2:30 time frame. Our next opportunity to enter the market will be at 2:45 in the morning. It's about a little under 13 minutes from now. 2:45 a.m. Central Standard Time. So definitely starting out a little murky. Again, we do have a crap ton of major news for the day. A lot of that is dropping at a pretty quick pace for this morning. And it's slowing down our opportunity to get into the market. So no earth-shattering news so far. All the news has been pretty much on forecasts. The next major drop of news is the double drop of news on Producers Management Index. On the Great British Pound Sterling at 3:30 in the morning. It's a little under an hour from now. And even it isn't predicted to actually move very much for the last amount that it was reported. We do, however, have a possible rate change on the euro at 7:15 in the morning, and that is 15 minutes before the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange. It is not predicted that they're going to move the interest rate on the euro, which is currently at 2.15%. But you never know. Every now and again, the European Central Bank can throw us a little bit of a curveball. We also have the release of preliminary unemployment claims for the month of July on the US dollar at the start of the New York Stock Exchange at 7:30 in the morning today. So I believe that's going to cause a great deal of volatility in the market, particularly if the claims come in much higher than forecast. Actual claims over forecast for unemployment claims, for some odd reason, is actually good for the economy. Basically, it means that businesses have shaved their payrolls, so they're more productive and more profitable. It also means that more people are in the job market looking for jobs. With over 9 minutes left to go. I think we're in for a lot of waiting tonight, just like we were last night, where we literally walked away with just one trade. Even though we did get one early today on Palladium versus the United States dollar. Right. 7 minutes left to go for 2:45 in the morning. Does appear things have kind of slowed to a crawl ahead of major news dropping on the Great British Pound Sterling in about an hour from now. Six minutes left to go. Mm. 5 minutes left to go. Four minutes. Three minutes. When we do get to 245, trading view is probably going to take around 2 minutes to get through all the different assets. We have the trade. So we evaluating the trades on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily time frames simultaneously. All right, 2 minutes left to go. Does look like we have a very small short-term push on Bitcoin, just up a couple of 100 points in the last few minutes or so. I do not believe that's going to last. And this appears to follow a multi-day trend where Bitcoin is losing value on the strength of a record sale of 80,000 Bitcoin by a single Bitcoin whale on Tuesday afternoon on a wallet that had been dormant since 2011. The previous record for the sale of Bitcoin was around 3,700 Bitcoin at once by one owner. So this was a massive move, and it is, at least in the short term, destabilized the market. There's no real clear catalyst why cryptocurrency is down for the day. I just think people are scared. And you have people cashing in their cryptocurrencies across the board on multiple protocols. When those bulls start to take out their money like that. When your reaction honestly should be the opposite. You see this side of sell-off, you should be buying cryptocurrency, not selling it. All right, it's now 2:45 in the morning, about 15 seconds into the quarter of the hour. Let's see what TradingView gives us. In the event that we do not get anything for 2:45 a.m., next time frame to possibly enter the market is 3 a.m. in the morning, Central Standard Time, the top of the hour. All right, we are officially 2 minutes in past the quarter of the hour. Does not look like we'll be getting anything for the 2:45 15-minute time period. Our next opportunity to enter the market will be around 3 a.m. in the morning. That's the top of the hour. There's also possible in the next 8 minutes we may get something on futures, but we'll see. I don't think it's likely we're getting anything for the first hour besides the call of Palladium versus US dollar. All right. Toughest part of trading to me that is easy to enjoy is the waiting. It's the one reason why I don't stay on the charts all the time. One is not necessary, and two, the waiting just gets to you after a while. It does appear we're getting some type of reaction to the short-term rally in Bitcoin versus Tether. It is very slow, but it is declining in price. I think my first mind is probably right, and that is the market won't loosen itself up until the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange at 7:30 Central Standard Time this morning, when we finally get the preliminary unemployment claims for the month of July for the United States dollar. None of this European news is really going to move anything. Even the double drop of news we're going to get with British pound sterling at 3:30 in the morning. The only curveball might be the possible change in interest rate on the euro, which drops at 7:15 a.m. Central Standard Time today. But it's forecasted that the European Central Bank is not going to change interest rates from 2.15%. And if that's the case, it's going to beat forecasts. That means that the none change in interest rate has already been priced into the market. So it's not going to have an effect at all. I also think an interest rate that low is one of the reasons why the European Union is having such financial issues right now. They're basically giving away free money that's causing inflation. Meanwhile, the US Federal Reserve has kept interest rates comparatively high to the European Union, which is causing a short-term rally in the US dollar. Our currency is strengthening against all European currencies, including the euro, which makes their goods and services cheaper for American citizens. I guess the only other kind of elephant in the room is the effect of tariffs on purchasing power. And to be quite honest, even when all the tariffs that have been passed or instituted by President Trump, it hasn't really had much of an effect on consumption. It's been relatively steady. We're approaching 6 minutes to the top of the hour. No futures calls either. Very quiet for the last 45 minutes or so. Five minutes left to go to the top of the hour. Looks like Bitcoin is accelerating its recovery in price. See how fast this bad boy goes. Four minutes left to go. Three minutes. That's 2 minutes left to go to the top of the hour. Price on Bitcoin is broken above the 200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. So it looks like it may rally on us pretty big. For the last hour, we've had basically one non-stop price increase on Bitcoin. About 3 o'clock in the morning, headed on 1 minute past the top of the hour. Still no news in terms of new opportunities to enter the market. Got about 1 more minute to see whether or not we're going to get something. If we get nothing, it's going to be another quiet morning. We'll be heading towards 3:15 in the morning Central Standard Time for additional opportunities to enter the market on a buy or sell basis. Just as a reminder, we do have a drop of double news coming on the Great British Pound Sterling at 3:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. 2 minutes past the hour. No new trades for 3 o'clock in the morning. Our next time to enter the market will be at 3:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, a little under 13 minutes from now. 12 minutes left to go. Approaching 10 minutes left to go to the quarter of the hour. A second successive quiet morning of trading. Eight minutes left to go to the quarter of the hour. And it looks like we hit stop loss on Palladium versus US dollar. Let's take a look. And we did. That is unfortunate. I'm personally going to keep my position open because I know that it's going to hit take profit. It's just a matter of time, but that's not fun at all. Let's get this done. The age. We'll call out the hit stop loss here. Oops. It didn't work. There we go. We have a hit stop loss on Palladium versus US dollar. That was our only call of the night. So that being said, we now have no active trades for the evening. We're continuing to approach the quarter of the hour. About 5 minutes left to go until 3:15 a.m. And it's definitely the effect of all that news coming out on European pairs. We were very close to take profit on this trade. You just took off the other direction on us. So, looks like it's retesting the 200 EMA. It's going to give us take profit eventually. Just may take a couple of more days at this point. The France 40 doesn't move all that fast compared to other indices like the US 30, the NASDAQ 100, and the S&P 500, or the UK 100. That being said, it is pretty heavily rated. So if you take a trade on it, you can make some profit if you guess the right direction. Right, about 3 minutes left to the quarter of the hour. It's looking more and more like it's going to be quiet the entire session in terms of trade activity. Two minutes left to go to the quarter of the hour. Coming up on 1 minute left to go to the quarter of the hour. All right, it's now 3:15 in the morning. It's going to take about 2 minutes for trading view to go through all the different assets we have to trade on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily time frames to spit out possible opportunities in the market on a buy or sell basis. If we don't get anything until 2 minutes or after 2 minutes past the hour, generally the time when we can call that won't perceive any new opportunities till 3:30 in the morning, just the half of the hour. Little 4 minutes past the quarter of the hour at 3:19 Central Standard Time. Still no action. Mm. Let's see. 34. Doesn't look like we're gonna get anything for 3:45 a.m. They'll be very, 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 very quiet tonight. Hmm. Few minutes left to the quarter of the hour. Closing in on the end of the line tonight at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. We don't have any trades at that point. We'll shut down live, and I'll catch you again tomorrow, 2 a.m. 4 minutes left to go to the quarter of the hour. It's over 1 minute left to go. 3:45 in the morning. Quarter of the hour. Right, so now about 40 seconds left to the quarter of the hour. So whether or not we get some opportunities ahead of the market. One more time frame left to go. 4 a.m. the top of the hour, just under 14 minutes. So it looks like we have something on euro versus odd. At the venture the guess, we've hit stop loss on an earlier trade. And that is the case. 10 minutes left to go to the top of the hour, 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. Closing in on 8 minutes left to go till 4 o'clock in the morning. Looks like we're going to close the night with just no activity at all. Do have major news dropping on the euro at 7:15 a.m. That's the interest rate decision. We also have major news on the U.S. dollar with preliminary unemployment claims for the month of July dropping at the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, 7 minutes left to go. About 2.5 minutes left to go to the top of the hour. Coming up to the top of the hour. So about 2 minutes for TradingView to go through all the assets that we have to see if we have any other opportunities in the market. Again, I am the Pivot Sign, your host for the live trading session for July the 24th, 2025. The Quiet Storm is held every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 2 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, it does look like we have a buy opportunity on Maker versus Tether. Let's take a look on it. 30-minute confirmation, but it is gray, aqua blue. That's consolidation, so we will not be entering that trade. And with that, we are done for the evening. We'll see you guys at 2 a.m. Central Standard Time on tomorrow. Cheers.